I have to do it. Yeah, because yeah, it's kind of like, I learn it and then I share with people and I learn more. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about today's news. And those three news are all related to blockchain and XR, which is very excited because, yeah, for me, I knew there are a lot of artists, they put their art into, there's a term called NFT, right? I think you guys probably know what's non-fungible token, which is NFT. Pretty much it is a unit of data storage in a digital ledger called a blockchain and certifies as a digital asset to be unique and therefore not interchangeable. So pretty much if you put your art, for example, like 2D or 3D into like more like NFT converted to that, you can limit it the number of the digital asset of your art so you can sell it. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's like, right now we are buying or selling physical pieces of the art, but if you turn it into a digital asset, you can use NFT to transfer it. Okay, so today we have three news, and three news are related to blockchain and NFT. Yeah, so the first news is in uh, musetv.net, musetv.net, and the title is called Run English to Bring POPAGANDA to Blockchain and Augmented Reality with Digital Artwork. Okay, so there's yeah, and this post is written by Noemi Rodriguez. Yeah, and then yeah, so pretty much the New Zealand-based NFT digital collectible app called Veve or Vivi, VEVE. Yeah, if you type VEVE NFT app, you probably can find that app. Pretty much that app is, you can convert. It allows artists to convert their digital work to NFT format, or make it more secure and then limited into a digital asset. And it's kind of blockchain, I don't know, integrate with blockchain. And then so the pieces can be more scarcity, right? It's like it's limited, so you can raise the price, or you can sell it. And yeah, so yeah, pretty much use NFT to to do, to sell the artist digital work. And this app just announced a new partnership with Wrong English and I icon American pop culture artist. So if you take a look of Wrong English, RON, English is as English. Yeah, if you take a look of his art, pretty much he used a lot of really iconic pop culture stuff like DC, like McDonald's or Snoopy. Yeah, and South Park. Yeah, I just look up a bunch of iconics. His work. Pretty much he made everyone's looks like a skeleton. Yeah, so pretty much it's like that. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, he find out his own style. So yeah, if you want to take a look of his work, pretty much he put a lot of iconic pop culture people and then put some skeleton teeth on the mouth. Yeah, so that's his style. And then right now, the Veve app is going to turn his work to NFT, which allows people to purchase his work through Veve digital, the app, right? So yeah, pretty much you can buy it. I think you can buy it through Ethereum or Bitcoins or some other cryptocurrencies. So yeah, so as for this, it's very interesting because like right now there are a lot of artists doing the virtual digital versions of their art, and it's pretty much using blockchain to to promote those, or to sell those art. So yeah, any thoughts of the news? Yeah, Ellen or you, Evan?
Yeah, I have to admit, out of all the the newer technologies out there, the crypto and blockchain is probably the ones I know the least. So it still seems very
Same here.
mysterious. I love the idea of being able to control, I guess, as a content creator, the stuff that you create a little bit better. But yeah, I don't have a ton to offer on this one because it's just an area that I'm not as versed in. So.
Yeah, that's I've been sort of following the NFT news a little bit, but I definitely haven't delved as deeply into kind of how it actually works. So I also would sort of caveat my response by saying I'm not an expert in the area. I think, and yeah, I mean, on that note, I'm not really sure if other people have been kind of exploring the combination of NFTs and virtual reality. But I think I see in this, like, especially this VV platform, this idea of virtual collectibles when you're talking about 3D objects that could live in, some kind of metaverse-like shared virtual space. It starts to seem a little bit more compelling than, I guess, like just kind of owning the rights to like access like a 2D image, which I think is what I've seen a lot with NFTs. And it kind of makes me wonder about like whether there isn't in this kind of like, a sort of like overall platform for sort of like buying and selling objects, and like kind of wonder if this is like the beginning maybe of like a universal backend for like, what objects you could have and then put into, sort of a metaverse like shared space. I think, being able to see this stuff in virtual reality and move it around and create your space there. That seems like potentially, I mean, not necessarily for everyone, but it seems like a more compelling use than just like, saying like, oh, I have this like the rights to view this image exclusively on my phone or something. So yeah, I guess it's whether it's new or new to me, I think there's something cool.
Yeah, I know Spatial is utilizing NFT capabilities in their platform as well. I've seen a couple of articles on that. But yeah, one of the questions I do have about NFT and I guess that technology in general is, so far we've only seen digital art. I'm kind of curious what other types of art can be utilized in this technology. For example, music, giving musical artists the ability to kind of control their music as well, or different types of things like that. So it's definitely interesting to follow. It's a little more confusing to me, but yeah, I love new technology. So.
Yeah, same here. Because I remember last 2 weeks, and I went to my meetup, Santa Monica New Tech meetup, and then they host an NFT platform, and then I look up the website, and it seems like I need to use Ethereum to purchase. And unfortunately, when like a long time ago when I download Coinbase, and during that time, it seems like there's a big things happen. So Coinbase just locked or closed all the transaction or something. And during that time, I want to purchase something, but it just closed for a while. So I couldn't really do anything. And then so I didn't really get on the trend of all those blockchain things. I just look up the news. Sometimes, blockchain or like cryptocurrency is super high. Sometimes it's, going down. So I just like look at, just I'm not really involved with all those, but I think it's very interesting to see that artists start converting their art into digital format. Yeah, that's very interesting, and start selling the digital format of art. Yeah, I don't really know how this works, and I don't really know what's the point of having a digital art inside your phone. But maybe in the future, in the metaverse, you can put in your virtual home, right, hanging on the wall of your virtual homes. So maybe that's another application. Maybe it's just we are not integrate everything well, so everything is like a fragile, like this part, that part is, like we are still trying to pull everything together. But right now, I think, yeah, maybe in the future I can hang, an NFT art on my virtual home on the wall, right? And I can enjoy seeing it. Maybe that that might be a good integration. Okay, so yeah.
Really quick, in the early days of blockchain, I had read a report or a paper on how they were looking at using blockchain to control like software distribution, things like that. So we had a license on software, you can control, how it goes out. So it couldn't be necessarily hacked, or it couldn't be copied and distributed elsewhere. So to me, that made a lot of sense as far as the application. But yeah, it's interesting to see. I do use Coinbase as well, just to kind of get into it to see kind of how it's working. But there's such mystery behind why things go up and down. It's hard to kind of buy in completely to it. But yeah, I am trying to follow as best as possible and try to understand just different applications, because I do see within some of the programs I monitor, this stuff starting to kind of creep up out there. So it's always good to kind of try to know as much as possible about it.
Yeah, same here. I mean, as far as I know, I don't really know blockchain, even though I download a bunch of ebook and listen and trying to read books and attending online events. But I can tell you, I don't know. I still don't know what cryptocurrency or blockchain or Bitcoin, what, like the whole stuff. I still don't understand. Yeah, it's fine. We will get there. Maybe someday I will know what's going on. Yeah, another news is, today, 3 of our news are related to blockchain, NFT. Yeah, and I was surprised that, wow, like I haven't really thought of XR and blockchain. Right now, I can see everything coming together because, if we are creating another virtual reality or another layer of reality, then all the stuff is a property. So in order to secure and make it a unique property, maybe NFT is a good solutions. So another news, the second one is on cointelegraph.com, and the title is "An AR party is coming to a shared metaverse with 1 million tokens set to burn." And this news was written by Connor Sephton. Okay, so yeah, so pretty much there's a I would say NFT based virtual land called OVR Land. If you type OVR Land, you can take a look of the whole company. Pretty much they put, like 1.6 trillion hexagon digital overlay of the Earth surface. Yeah, just imagine we have an Earth, right? Right now we live on the physical Earth, and they overlay 1.6 trillion hexagon digitally on the surface of the Earth. OVR Land is a shared augmented reality where anyone can buy a plot of land to host any kind of digital content they want, from 3D art and games to build and pretty much anything they could dream up. So pretty much it's kind of like a real estate agency. Just think of that, or like selling digital I would say real estate, right? You have a small hexagon, right? And you can put anything, or you can sell, you can do anything with that small, I would say it's like that hexagon, right? So pretty much it's a land, it's a virtual land. And the highlight of the OVR Land project will be a live burn of 1 million OVR tokens with about probably 1 million at this writing. So the token come from sales of 6 site OVR land plots, more than 275K of which has been sold so far. So I would say 1/3 of them has been sold so far, and includes the FE tower. Yeah, like people like to buy, a hot spot, a really hot place, which was just sold for record breaking, like around 100K. Yeah, it's like a digital place, a hexagon, and it's on the place right on top of every tower, or right at the place of every tower on Earth, right? So yeah, right now they are celebrating their 6 month anniversary. It's very interesting. I thought anniversary is supposed to be at least 1 year, but they are I think they launched something and it has been 6 months, so they are celebrating it right now. So I mean, I feel like for those very pioneer startups, they can break all the rules. It's fine, and people just get used to it. So the anniversary party itself used OVR Lens OVR live event platform with a DJ wearing a motion suit to record and reproduce movement, dancing, and even interacting with the crowd as hyper realistic 3D avatar to create the experience of being at a concert. So pretty much they will host a really cool hyper reality event, or like more like live event in OVR land. So yeah, so it's very interesting to see that yeah, you can sell a virtual land, and because it's NFT, so everything will be secure. And the project uses two tokens, the OVR land and OVR land NFT that represent land hexes, and ERC20 fungible OVR tokens. Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't really know what's that, but it seems like, yeah, they have two tokens, and the only currency with which value can be exchanged inside a metaverse. So yeah, you can use real world currency, which is maybe dollars or cryptocurrency, to such as paying for the in-platform property, or experience the development, renting a virtual space, paying for virtual goods and experience, and collecting revenue for advertisers. So wow, it's like, yeah, I would say it's like another Columbus, right? Uh, like trying to overcome or find out a new territories. And right now it's still new. If you are interested in buying a new land in another new world, even though it's new virtual world in this earth, maybe it's a good time to buy it. Yeah. Any thoughts, Ellen and Evan?
Yeah, it is definitely interesting. I'm glad these people have more time than I do, because I have enough time, hard enough time, kind of just getting along in my own world here. But yeah, I don't know. I guess my question on this would be, how do you determine the value of a certain plot of land? So obviously the Eiffel Tower is a significant location, but how do you determine the value of that as opposed to 6 blocks down or something? So I'm sure they have it all figured out. But yeah, this reminds me of like Second Life or Farmville back in the day, or even purchasing a star to name a star after yourself. Yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, if you could advertise, maybe you could make money from that, from an investment standpoint. But yeah, it's like everything else. It still seems kind of strange until you figure out how people are actually utilizing it, which applications they go to see the advertisements and things like that. But very, very mysterious, for sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like, Alan, that you brought up like Farmville, because I think it really highlights too kind of like the way the value of stuff like depends on just like how much other people are engaging with it and care about it. Like in the case of Farmville, it's just kind of, like in a lot of these casual games, it's not like, they're not like, if no one played them, it's kind of like, oh, it's not even like such a crazy game or so different from anything else, but because other people are on there, that all of a sudden like people really care about it. Remember reading an article at one point about like, I think it was Farmville specifically, those other social media games, and the way that like I forget like kind of like where they were looking at, but they were talking about how like whole families would get involved, and like a lot of people playing the game were just trying to like they felt an obligation to like help their cousin out, or like help their like grandmothers helping their like grandmothers out or whatever. So it's kind of like, yeah, you know, it's weird, like the way this stuff works. And then the NFT sort of like overlay is trying to like sort of capitalize on that. But yeah, I don't know. I think this idea of kind of, I don't know. I mean, it almost in some ways feels like what, you know, if you can get people excited about some kind of metaverse thing that lives over the top of the real world, there's definitely, I don't know, I feel like there have been like a lot of augmented reality, like it kind of adding like markers and monuments to like tell stories, places from different perspectives. I've seen a lot of interesting stuff along those lines. But yeah, I don't really know. I think that's kind of a lot of NFTs is like, you know, it's just like, oh, how do we kind of, what if we like kind of take some similar stuff and then like turn it into a stock market sort of, and then that maybe will get people excited about it.
Exactly. Yeah, I think like with Farmville, what was interesting about that is I thought it was kind of a joke at the time. And then when you kind of get into it, you start to get a little addicted to it. It's like, well, what if I do this? What if I try? Then all of a sudden you're starting to buy stuff with real money that is virtual. It doesn't make any sense either. So yeah, I don't know. I don't disagree with some of these things people are trying to do. Just because I wouldn't do it or think it's silly doesn't mean everybody else is not going to do it, obviously. But yeah, I love the creative aspect of it, just, you know, trying to see what sticks maybe. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Dogecoin, right? I mean, it started off as a joke and it kind of
I think something. Elon Musk marketing it. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, Doge. Yeah, I think it's very cool because, I mean, it looks like a joke, but when, you know, Elon Musk start to create a lot of buzz about Doge, it becomes a serious business, even though I know a lot of people are, you know, very disappointed when it goes down. But I mean, I didn't buy it, but I just feel like, wow, this is so cool. Like, I mean, it's just because of the name.
Now, I guess maybe he hasn't yet, but maybe this same story that you're mentioning, Elon Musk will map out the Mars and then start selling parts of Mars to everybody through the same process here.
That's true, though.
Maybe that's his next step.
Yeah, I think maybe mapping out Mars into 1.6 trillion hexagon, you know, and then people can digital monitor there or using virtual reality to live there, right? Like virtually control the Mars. I don't know. and you can buy a little piece of Mars. I don't know. Yeah, I just thought, yeah, this is a very interesting concept. And blockchain right now, I mean, yeah, just like Ellen said that I don't understand, but I know a lot of people are crazy about it. And, you know, it's just because I don't understand. I couldn't really say anything, but it's a very interesting concept because metaverse, we've been talking about metaverse for a long time. And right now people start really, you know, selling some places in virtual world, and you can put stuff on the virtual world. Yeah. So yeah, this is still really cool.
To add to that, it's interesting to me because maybe I'm just getting old and some of these things that are happening are just beyond my age. But I remember in 2009, the very first time I saw augmented reality on a browser. I think it was General Electric did a project where they showed through Flash, they showed the AR kind of, you can print out a little marker and hold it up to your webcam, and it did what it did. But to me, it was interesting because immediately I saw all these applications. I thought, oh, you could bring print material to life. You could do this. You could do that. It made total sense to me. And so the problem today is some of these things like that are in the news, NFTs, Bitcoin, like all that. It just, there are areas where it's like it doesn't make sense to me. I can't really make the connection to like how it would be utilized. It seems very confusing sometimes. So that's the only problem I have today is just trying to make sense of the applications of these things. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I think, I don't know, for me, I've been keeping up with all the news every day for a few years. I still don't know the blockchain. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's still hard for me to understand. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, we will get there. Okay, the third one, the third news is still NFT. It's very interesting that when I look up the news, it's all NFT today. Yeah, so it's on vrfocus.com. And the title is called How Augmented Reality Based NFTs Have a Potential to Revolutionize Arts and Culture. So this is very interesting. And the article was written by Dr. SIRISILP. Okay, yeah. So if you are interested, go to vrfocus.com. Yeah, okay. So pretty much we all know that galleries and museums are pretty much being closed down during COVID. Yeah, so they are right now thinking about how to, kind of digitize all their assets and start, selling or renting to generate more revenues. So so you see right now, all the galleries, museums, we couldn't really visit there physically. So I think this is a smart idea, right? Because when I look up some news right now, a lot of museums, they are integrated with virtual reality. So you can, at your home, you can download the app and look at the real art at your home or something, right? So this is kind of already being implemented, but I think with like NFT, it might bring it to another level. Like in the article, it says that NFT and augmented reality products are quickly rising to popularity and become increasingly understood. Yeah, I know. Right now, everyone still understand what's going on, but yeah, people start being more and more understanding of this mass market with virtual reality and AR now household terms. I think at least we kind of try some AR, VR sometime, right? I wouldn't say anyone has VR headset, but I would say, yeah, AR, definitely you will try it at least, TikTok or Snapchat or somehow Facebook, there's filters. So people kind of understand VR, AR. And then mobile technologies, yeah, it's kind of essential to our lives. And so this is kind of a natural way of transforming to, all the gallery and museum, they are trying to, pay off their bills. And how can they pay off? By, turning all their physical, art, sculpture into more 360 videos or, more like digital assets, and then start, making some profit out of those. Yeah, so mixed reality presents financial solutions to struggling galleries and museums. So pretty much, this article talks about some financial issues, and they realize, some donations. But yeah, right now they still need more money to pay the bills. So NFT is a really good solutions for, for all those, like how can museum and galleries digitize their assets and then make it, available for people to purchase, through like an NFT process. So from immersive experience in-house to at-home desktop AR facilities, museums and galleries can utilize augmented reality to provide an entire new perspective on their historical piece and meet wider demand of digital entities into culture they have to offer. This demand is also mirrored by artists themselves who are desperate for income and are keen to utilize NFT and mixed reality to make their world to a wider audience. So yeah, any thoughts for this news?
For me, I obviously I love. We talked about before about being able to travel around through VR, AR, and see places that might not be easy to get to normally, or just having the time to go to a museum. But yeah, again, it's a matter of the content, the quality of the experience, because some of the places I've gone to recently, as far as museums, there's a kind of a mixed bag of experiences based off of kind of what they have to offer there. So if they can figure out ways to kind of monetize the experience so they can bring money in, I think that makes a lot of sense. Keep it kind of more secure. But overall, I do appreciate that these companies, especially the museums, are looking into the technology and trying to experiment with new ways to engage customers and get their information out and about. So I definitely like that.
Yeah, I think it's neat too, and I do kind of wonder about like how quickly it's the area of digitizing objects is advancing. I remember when I was like working more directly in visual effects, I was a little more tuned into that because it obviously is like a huge thing in doing visual effects for movies as well. Like if you can scan real objects, that's often faster than paying a 3D modeler to create a realistic looking asset. And then when you get into like people, obviously, you have the main character, et cetera, et cetera. But at one point I had read something saying that like a huge barrier to this for both in like retail, where if you have like a furniture seller, say, it's very expensive for them to be able to like build up an asset library to develop an AR app. The cost of development isn't insignificant, but just building that asset library is a huge hurdle. And yeah, I wonder about museums, like if they're, I kind of hope there's maybe a little bit more progress on that. I almost wonder if that's as much a barrier as kind of like people not really having, not necessarily having a VR headset or like, not finding the experiences compelling on their phone. But I think I think access, being able to have more people see things and, see artifacts in museums is really, really awesome. And it's a great potential of digital media. So, I'm definitely excited about that. And if museums can find some way to pay their bills doing that, I mean, hey, like I'm always for more funding for arts. So that's.
Yeah. And I saw in this article, it says that there's a word, like a very famous artist, digital artist called Beeple, and he sold his unique collection titled "Every Day: The First 5,000 Days." This piece of art as an NFT for $69 million. Yeah, it's like, wow, $69 million. It's a lot just for a piece of art and through NFT or, yeah. So I think, yeah, if you can sell that high, I wish it's, yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just wondering, maybe I wish there's no, money laundering, something happens during those transition. But if that is a really legit sales, I think that's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think today's news is kind of not really expected because when I see it, it's all blockchain. Because usually when I see news, it's usually XR and maybe IoT, XR, AI, right? XR, IoT, AI, those types of a combination. But I think blockchain and XR, I think everything start making sense. For example, if you buy a property, right, in the virtual world, similar to you buy some online game weapons, right? So everything needs to be limited. Everything needs to be kind of functional, but in that world. So maybe NFT is kind of for a way to legalize or make the digital property a legit stuff for you to use in your virtual games or something, virtual life, second life. So I think today's news is very interesting, and I don't really understand a lot of them, but yeah, hopefully someday when I read more, I could understand more.
Yeah, Dominic, you brought up money laundering, and that does make me wonder. As little as I know about all this stuff, it does kind of make you wonder how some of these other transactions are going to affect things. Because I think that was brought up recently about these big prices that some of these arts are taking, and what other things are kind of happening behind the the scenes. So I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more about that down the line. But the other thing too is I want to congratulate you. I saw that you're going to be speaking at AWE. I saw that on LinkedIn. So
yeah.
That's great.
Yes.
What's the specific topics you're going to be covering?
I'm going to talk about gamification in XR, and especially for education and retails. Yeah, I know there are so many things to say, and I told the organizer that, hey, actually, XR or gamification is not just for retail or marketing. It's for everything, because pretty much all the XR current app are building two game engines. One is Unreal, one is Unity. So on top of them, it's the essential of XR application is already gamed, right? So there are so many stuff that we can talk, for example, like military or training or so many things. And gamify is not a real game, but putting game element, game mechanics. And according to the books that I read, I find out that there are at least a few thousands of game mechanics. Whatever we do, it's all game mechanics. So I think there are a lot of stuff to talk, and I need to kind of eliminate and find out the newest stuff to implement.
Very cool. Well, congratulations again. I'm hoping to get to AWE this year. It's nice that we can kind of get out and about and do things in person again.
Yeah, right,
right. I was there a couple of years ago, and I'd like to check it out again.
Yeah, and
cool.
Yeah, and it seems like they are planning to meet in person this year, and because they have other speakers from other world. So and they probably didn't get vaccination. So so they said that if someone who couldn't come or speakers couldn't come in person, they probably will use the virtual one. So, but they wish all the speakers probably, when I see the data is probably around 300 or 300 more, those speakers, they want them to, everyone to be on stage or in that convention center. So they can record and kind of live streaming. So so I'm still thinking about, should I drive my car to there? It seems like I need to drive 6 to 7 hours to Santa Clara.
Yeah, it's a bit of a drive.
Or I should take airplane. Take flight. So I'm still thinking. But it should be fun. It should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. This is probably my first time to go there, and last year I bought the ticket, so I watched a bunch of videos, and I think everything is cool, and and I'm looking forward to it as well. Cool. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining me, and hopefully see you tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Bye. Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.